Okay, this will be a demonstration about ellipses. Let's say, for example, if I'm going to draw, let's say, a cup or a cylinder that's right in front of me. Okay, you guys have observed enough times now that you know that the top of that cup is not a circle anymore, but becomes an ellipse. The sides, for the time being, will just keep vertical. And to create the illusion of the third dimension, we have to draw another ellipse down here that has fuller proportions. Because if my eye level is up here someplace, it may be off the page. Okay, it is off the page, but if my eye level were up here, it means I'm looking down at the top of this, and this is even further below my eyes, and that's the reason why this is a fuller ellipse and this is more shallow. If I were to extend the column up, as I get to my eye level, that ellipse is going to become narrower and narrower. Okay. The idea basically is this, is that as you come down this column, anything below your eye level, as you come down the column, the ellipses must get bigger, fuller. Okay? They must get fuller. The thing you have to be careful of is that as you go down, they always have to get fuller. You can't insert, let's say if I come in here and I do an ellipse like this. Well, this is closer to this than it is to this. So the illusion is not continued. There's a miscommunication of sorts. Okay, so the most important thing about this is just simply remember that as you make your ellipses in a situation like this, as the ellipses come down the column, they get fuller and fuller. And if you ever want to, there's a couple things that you can do. You can actually measure and make sure that the ratios, so for example, the height of this ellipse fits into the width 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like 7 or 8 times. Let's just go ahead and say 7 to 1. This one fits in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 to 1. This should be even less. It should be, let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 4 to 1. Let's see, this is getting pretty similar to the one above it, but let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3, and a third. So this is 3 1/3 to 1, and this is approximately 1, 2, we'll say 2.5 to 1. So the illusion is created, so to speak. You're giving the observer consistent information. You're telling them that this is what they see at the top, this is what they're seeing at the bottom, and this is what they would be seeing in the middle along the way on the way up. Another thing that you can do, if you want to see if you're in fact have got the right size of ellipses, that would be this. If you were to create the center, the axis, locate the axis of this object. Axis. Right, line running down the center. If I cross that over, I'll do a better job with this, but let's see what happens. Continue down. Okay, so what's happening now is that this would be a cross section of this portion of the cylinder. And what's happening is this, is that if I were to take this line here and extend it out, and take this line here and extend it out, off into the distance, what will happen is that these lines would be converging. They get closer and closer to each other as they go off into the distance. And that's why this is working.